Nurses here, you ready?
I am ready.
Jay Hunterville, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Should I do the world? You got the world, or am I in the world?
Wait, hold on.
We're in the world.
Del Najero. Del Pesh, am I ready? Yes, I am ready.
Okay. Because you stay ready.
Because I don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, James, what world are we in today?
Okay. In the world where people's finances are as stable as Joe Biden's balance, this is the vent. I'm your host, Jay Hunterville. We got the nerdsy here.
Hey.
We got Del Pesh here.
That was crazy, but yes. How's everyone doing on this?
Would you trust somebody in your second term if that man can't even watch his step?
I was about to say, stand up.
Wow. Dude. Oh, the ludicrous? Why hasn't someone done a video like where Ludacris is he lifts a big Air Force One, slams on the ground, and you see Joe Biden just just fall over? See, by the time this comes out, wait, go ahead.
He be dropping at times that you don't think someone's gonna just fall.
Okay. There were previous ones before, but when the bike one happened, I was like, okay, something's up.
For me, it's the fact that they're always slow motion.
Yes.
Always.
It's
Like the one that I saw was somebody, he was giving a certificate, I guess, for someone's graduation.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The man did 2 steps.
Wait, he fell for that too?
What?
No, I didn't.
But
Nah, I didn't see that one.
He fell like, you know when someone falls and they know that they're falling?
Yeah.
He's falling like he doesn't know that he's falling.
That's sad though. Let me even this up a little
I
bit.
feel like that's a stage, but like he's going for a second term.
But it's not like he's walking off of the stage. He was on stage. He shifted to the right 2 steps and fell.
And his equilibrium just fell off. Like
Slowly.
His equilibrium.
Slowly.
Is that the type of president you guys want?
Wow.
A stable, like one that can't even stand on his own 2 feet. I'm sorry.
And you say he's running for a second term.
Like when I heard that he wasn't gonna run for the second term, I said, okay, I understand. Go rest, relax.
Not he wants to run. How can he run when he cannot stand?
You gotta learn how to stand first, I guess.
I like how you said it and delivered it like Jerry Seinfeld. Like that was a Jerry Seinfeld kind of joke actually.
After you done all you can, you must stand up.
Oh my God.
Tell me what can you do when you I was gonna freestyle something.
Oh man.
Now, how you guys been? The viewers, how you guys been?
Yeah,
This is in the comments.
I've been alright. I'm still in Chicago.
Hey.
I was supposed to be
I had
like,
grilled chicken,
let me stop.
and I realized that here, ketchup is not like a normal thing. Like it is a normal thing, but like it's weird when I see ketchup considered like a sauce on like chicken.
Like I know it's a condiment, but like I don't.
Like spicy mayo type of sauce?
Like I've seen like they have like bourbon barbecue ketchup, but it's my first time trying it. So I'm like, let me just get ketchup because at least if I have ketchup, I know what ketchup tastes like. But I want to try chicken on its own. Right?
It's your safe choice.
It's a safe choice.
Okay.
I don't know, like our barbecue is different than their barbecue. You know what I mean?
That's a whole fact, yeah.
The whole thing. So I just didn't know, right? And yeah, I mean, it was good. It was good.
Okay.
It was good. I think the best food is in the hood, apparently, but I'm not gonna go to the south side to make Queens. But you know what? I know this wasn't on the docket, but I have something to like a brief disclaimer.
Okay.
I know we were going to speak about the gentrification of Eglinton West, but I was thinking about like Caribbean food spots, right?
Mm-hmm.
My partner was like, you know, going on food reviews, you know, because sometimes it's funny to read certain food reviews, right,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
on certain places, and you can tell the demographic that's writing the food reviews. So first off, I don't remember ever writing a review on Juco or like Yelp or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Right.
who people of our
Summarize TikTok with the food
I
review.
do.
see you write reviews.
I write reviews. I let everyone know whether something was scrumdiddlyumptious or if it was trash. I let everybody know.
Wow.
And I get
Appreciate
points.
you doing the Lord's work, I guess.
And I get points.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I checked TikTok. Shout out Tasha Millionaire. You know, I listen to her reviews and Keith Lee and whoever else that does food reviews. Oxfell Poppy, I think his name was, and all that people that. But I've been reading some of the reviews, like for one Caribbean restaurant, someone wrote, "Oh, the food was great, but they had absolute terrible customer service. I went to the front. They didn't ask me what my order was, so I didn't know what to do. And we just were in a stare contest, and then she said, 'What do you want?' That is totally impolite, and just like that." Now, for people that don't know this, I think it's something we need to learn and teach people when it comes into like Caribbean restaurants. If they're impolite, the food is nice. The only reason they could be disrespectful is if the food is nice.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
They say this.
No,
They say this about Chinese takeout too.
I will not
Japanese
accept
food,
it.
Korean
Here's the
food.
thing.
It's the same thing. Like
But the thing about it, it's not that they're being disrespectful. They just don't say anything. You're in their establishment. You know what I mean?
right.
So it's not like they're being rude if they're just looking at you. They want to know your order. They're not going to say, "Can I take your order?" They say what you want. And if we don't have it, we don't have it.
Wow.
And that's it.
I do not condone this.
Love it.
No,
That,
I do not condone this. But
listen to me. At the end of the day, if these guys have to worry about customer service, we're going to lose something in the food.
that's hilarious.
We're gonna
I
lose
don't
something.
think so.
Yo.
Because you could go back home and you're going to get great customer service with a
It's not like you're
smile.
being disrespectful. Here's the thing. It's not like you're being disrespectful. Though.
Depends on the day.
Nah, you can get it with a
It's not even
smile.
like-
Yeah, it is. Back home, you get good food and they still serve it with a smile. They'll greet you, smile. You'll get your
Yeah,
food,
but
smile.
Our greetings is different than their greetings.
Wait. When you say back home, you mean like back in the island, back
In the
home
Caribbean, yeah.
with
Yeah,
a
but
with a
like-
smile?
Yes, with a smile. You'll receive a smile.
Hold on a minute.
Well,
Now I have to think.
I think you're
I now have to think.
Listen, I've been to Trinidad, Barbados, St. Vincent, and Jamaica. And I've always gotten a smile. Always been treated well. Even with the people that I've been around.
Where are you at the resorts?
Resorts and off resorts.
Oh, okay.
How far off from the resorts?
For Jamaica, I don't know how far I was. I don't know Jamaica that well, but
Oh, okay.
I was good like hour and a half off the resort.
That's
I know.
not
I
pretty
know,
far.
but I know that I go to certain places, and then they lock eyes with me. I know that's my time to order.
Yo.
Trinidad, it was a stopover. So we were there for a bit. Barbados, I was there in the country itself. Like, went for all the different parishes. Shout out to parish, the word parish. You know, if you're from the Caribbean, if you say that. And same with St. Vincent. Went to different parishes and same greetings. Beautiful greetings, everything. So
Wait, what parish?
parish is like
Yeah.
a city. It's the same way we would call,
It's like a province.
Yeah.
Province, like,
it's like what we would consider York, Scarborough, Etobicoke. That's a parish in the Caribbean.
A parish?
Yeah, Parish.
Belfast, you didn't know this?
No,
Yeah, man.
the only parish I know is the blood of my enemies. But anyway, now
I
was
feel
good.
like
That
I
was
said,
good.
I don't think customer service is that much of a bad thing. It's it's one thing to be bad, but if it's bad with the food, that's when you're gonna have a problem.
That's like being. Okay, let me slow down.
But there's
Sunrise got a lot of flack, not because the food is bad, yes, but the disrespect.
But why would we want to be okay with that? Like, I want, like, a lot of Caribbean, like, I want it where you come in, you're like, oh my gosh, grace with presents and everything. Wow.
And the
I
food's
eat
nice?
the food. Ooh, listen.
But that's the thing. You do get grace. It's just
Not the cut eye.
It's not McDonald's grace. It's not pizza grace. You get grace.
They don't
give you.
They don't give. Hold on, James. To be fair, they don't give grace.
Yeah.
McDonald's. I almost got. Okay, so story time. When I was at another part of the city in Ontario, I'm over there in McDonald's, like, you know, ordering a McChicken, right? And then I got the same stare that you know, that happens in some of our restaurants, right? But like, it was like a stare of like bewilderment. Like, it was like, I had never seen no person like you before. You see what I'm getting at? And like, they're just. I mean, that could have been running through their mind, but like, but nah, gone are the days are like, they serve it with a smile. Only Chick-fil-A does that. Popeyes, you're getting beaten up. Not Walgreens.
McDonald's, you're waiting.
McDonald's, you're waiting.
I seen Popeyes team has never taken a loss.
Like yes. Waffle House.
I fight the other day with Wingstop. You saw that Wingstop fight?
Wingstop fight. I heard.
I was gonna pull the man that his dress ripped off, or his dress tucking off.
His dress.
People are actually fighting in this place. Oh my gosh.
And the funny thing is, the man was pulling him over by his dress, and the man just pulled him back, and the man was flying over the counter.
That's.
At the Wingstop.
Like these.
At the Wingstop. Remember pepper, all over the place.
Now mind you, sorry to interject. What if the reason why when we go to different restaurants and we get that kind of service is because when they come to a Caribbean restaurant, they are faced with that service. So they feel like, well, you're used to this, so why should I give you any better?
Whoa.
Do we see how treating others the way we want to be treated feels like?
Wow.
Now, Nancy, you know damn well that people start agreeing with you. Our food is not going to taste good.
It's going to taste fine.
It's not going to taste
It will taste fine.
You don't want to go, you don't leave the restaurant being like, oh, that person is nice. You leave the restaurant thinking, oh, I'm about to tear this food up.
Okay, but why can't I think about both?
For some reason, that little lack of customer service.
What makes the food better?
It just sweetens the thing, because you know what it makes you do? It makes you kiss your teeth.
It makes you kiss your teeth.
It salvates your tongue, your palate ready.
No.
Wow.
It resets the palate. Just like kiss your teeth resets your mental, it resets the palate.
I've never heard this before. Like,
exactly. See, this is why you guys need to read books.
Wow.
The kiss teeth has been the reboot of attitude all the time. That kiss teeth.
I
You guys didn't realize that? Have you realized if you want to get over something, you just kiss your teeth, and it really just diminishes?
you know, now that I think about that,
Anymore when you kiss your teeth.
now that I think about it,
I'm a rock.
there may have been one or two.
I just kissed my teeth right now because of this. But you know what? I'm not over it. No, man. No. I will not accept it.
Let us know in the comments. Are you the restaurant that will give great service and great taste? Mm-hmm. Who's up for the challenge?
I mean, nothing's wrong with that.
I think I went to Eglinton West, and I am shocked. Like, the one thing that threw me off is the green pea. The green pea parking.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
From
The
food.
lights were on. and it wasn't the green pea parking like near the gas station. Another one in a tunnel. Like I was like,
Wait, a green
what?
pea parking in a tunnel? So you go down?
Not a tunnel, but like it had shelter.
Oh, you're talking about
Is this by the condo?
Where the condo is, right?
Yes, I was baffled.
I'm rolling. It's the word baffled for me.
You guys remember when there was a Blockbuster there?
Yes.
That turned into a car dealership. Yes.
I was driving by and I'm like, wait, hold on, the traffic is not as bad anymore.
It
Slowly.
isn't anymore. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, I'm like, is that someone riding their bike? Is that someone with their baby in a shop?
I'm rolling.
There actually is. So for those listening on Eglinton, Oakwood, Eglinton, Marley,
Socks.
Eglinton, Dufferin.
Eglinton, Dufferin. Yeah, there's bike lanes now.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
like, what? Birkenstocks?
This man said Birkenstocks. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Wait, hold on. It looks like
I
Eglinton
can't.
used to be two streets. Like, you know when you cross the street and you still have to
Yes.
turn on the swivel?
Yes.
It's only that one street. I'm like,
Eglinton, Oakwood, you do have to have your head on a swivel. That turn on the
Going right?
when you're going right, yeah, you have to because people bug the thing. But hold on, just to back up a little bit. There's a nasty rumor I heard. There's some nasty work going on, where regarding the parking,
Okay.
people would rent out a unit or units, like we always talk about. But obviously, if you're renting out, like, let's say they're renting out 5 units or more, obviously you don't have 5 cars, right?
Correct.
So in some of the units, you might have parking spaces.
Yes.
Now, you may have your car in a parking space. So what if I had this opportunity, what am I going to do with the other parking spaces?
they're trying to eliminate the vehicles. That's what they're trying to do.
That's one.
The subway's right there.
Right, that's one. And 2, allegedly, they are taking something on the low and charging for the parking spot and pocketing the money. So
Privatizing.
So it's a business under a business.
Listen to me.
I heard a price $55,000 and up
For a parking space?
You're parking.
for the year.
For the parking space?
For the year,
55?
$55,000 and up.
Listen,
For a parking space?
You heard what I said.
Listen.
You heard what I said.
I need to go find myself some land so I can make a parking space, yeah? Because
listen, I thought about that.
Allegedly.
I have thought about that for the longest time.
trust me.
I thought about buying one of these houses and breaking it down and making it like a parking
Trust
station.
me. Even if you charge $1 a day
Even please
with 50.
please go higher. Please, like okay, I know what you mean by that, but like
Yeah, like you would still make money. 365 with 50 parking spaces?
that's
But at the same time, it's tough because, like, I don't know, man. The way I'm just surprised at Eglinton. I'm not gonna lie. Just remembering the things. I remember when Pizza was on the other side. Randy's Patties was a thing. Dollar Joint was a thing. I remember parking at the green. Well, I know if you really think about it, there was always a green pea there. At that
yeah.
parking spot.
But it used to be the launch place. Oh my gosh, you're right. Oh my gosh, I'm having a memory jog. Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they had Kitty Carnival, and then the band launch would actually happen where the parking lot. So the parking lot used to be on the opposite side where the condo is because the Popeyes was there. You're so right. Yes. So if you're looking towards north, back in that time, on Eglinton, Popeyes used to be on the west side corner on Oakwood. And then Pizza would be on the east side. And then beside Popeyes used to be a parking lot, which would take it all the way back to Lanark. Not Lanark. Was it Varna? There's a street back there. But the parking lot stretched as far as that street went over. So as much as the space of like the condo is, that was actually parking lot space.
Yeah.
Yes, and the green parking was there, and then they moved it over afterwards. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I seen it, I was like, wait, I'm shocked, right? So, well, it's just an eye opener of
How it
you know,
evolved.
like I said, when a Starbucks drops, that is checkmate.
Yo, that's
That would be too close though.
Nope. If they get one, just one.
one.
They have one right on Bathurst, close by
No,
Bathurst.
no.
That's kind
In
of
that
far
area,
still.
it's game over. Because I feel like Starbucks knows where they drop their stuff.
And I mean, they are a business
That's
of
like-
location,
Yeah,
or is it tech? They're one of the two.
because it
I
even
can
like
imagine, I can imagine my yard man going into Starbucks.
But they used to have Starbucks in sketchy areas, like shout out King and Dufferin. That one's long
There's
gone.
Starbucks there?
No, that's long. Yo, I should send you pictures of what it looks like now. The corner store's gone, McDonald's is gone, BK's gone. That whole plaza where there was a pet store, there was a Mr. Sub, no, Quiznos. There's a laundromat there. That whole thing's leveled. That's a condo going there now.
Where is this?
From
This
the
is
time
King
I
and
seen
Dufferin.
Galleria Mall was done,
And
and that McDonald's was done,
Oh,
I think,
yes,
that
yes,
Galleria
yes, yes.
Mall, I said, oh no,
Oh man, when
all the memories are gone.
I was there, and the fact that somebody had pointed out, and they're like, Burger King's not there anymore. And I said, what are you talking about? I literally was looking as if the place was there, not knowing that construction is happening right in front of my eyes.
Right, yeah.
You'll be looking exactly where it is, and like, no, it's right there. And it's like, you know where your body's telling you. And it's like, oh,
Yo,
Right, it got leveled, yeah.
yo.
The Starbucks there, long gone.
Yeah, each corner, the opposing corners where
Right.
the McDonald's used to be. You're right.
But nah,
crazy.
you know what would take over? No. If I had to have a choice on Eglinton Oakwood, I would take a chat time bubble tea place over Starbucks. Yo, I don't know what it is with bubble tea, guys,
yo,
but they're getting
man,
Starbucks out the
remember,
paint.
Chat time is not even the one.
Not even, yeah. I would say real
fruit
fruit.
is the one.
Yeah.
Real fruit is the thing.
I mean,
Real fruit?
Anything that have bubble
Or
tea is
tapioca?
basically what's being said.
The
Any-
diamond
yeah.
slush with the tapioca.
if they put if they put one in the real estate part of the condo, it's over.
Funny.
You come out their LRT station unharmed, and you go get your bubble tea, go back on the LRT, and then you just go.
It has to be the mango diamond. It has to be real fruit still. It can't be chat time. There's the chai time at Stockyards, and I don't even go to that. It has to be
Yeah, the real fruit. Because honestly, they actually
real
do
fruit.
use fruit.
You'll get the rastas. You'll get the ras in there.
Yeah.
As you're supposed to.
Yeah.
I-
No,
I-
chat time is very watery.
Wow, that's
Very
Very
watery.
watery.
watery
Chat time is watery.
watery
Yeah,
fruits.
man. Yeah, man.
It's watery.
It
It's
is.
it's like they really crushed ice and put flavoring on it.
Wow,
It
that's,
might as well have been a snow clone.
Wow.
Snow cone. Yeah.
No, right.
Yep. See?
You are right.
See? I'm telling you.
And it's expensive. Chat time's expensive for no
Yes.
reason. Yo.
Yeah, I went the other day and I was like $7.50. I was like, yo, you guys
$7
For like
$1.50,
like a
yo.
small, yeah. Like,
for a small.
yeah.
For a small.
You can get a large for $9 at real time,
fruit
real
is the
fruit.
one. Real fruit is the one because you see them cut up and
Yep.
and peel up and everything.
Yep.
You know you're getting mango.
Yep.
You know you can.
Fresh. What you see on the display, that's what it is.
Well,
Yep.
Yo,
It's
that's
real.
you'll see them. Sometimes you'll see the crate come with the mangoes and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, we're gonna start peeling.
Mm-hmm.
Chop it up into cubes. Hey. Strawberry bananas. Some people try the taro. Taro?
That
The purple one?
Taro, yeah.
Taro,
That's the potato.
Even though I heard
Forget
the
what it's
lychee one.
called.
The lychee one tastes nice too with lychee.
Lychee, yeah. I heard the lychee one tastes good too.
But yeah. Ask it to put a real fruit there and be blessed. I'll say that. Real fruit would be the one.
now continuing with Toronto stuff. International students and deportation. Now, you said you were giving us some information like before the pod. You said there was a protest at Mississauga?
There was a protest in Mississauga, I see, for to stop the deportation of international students. I remember, what was it last year? There was like that scandal of like the bad
all those people,
a lot of people or whatever.
Right.
People were getting deported, but I guess it's going down the line. To be honest, what is crazy, because I don't know, maybe it's the school board, because I guess people are coming in for schooling or for whatever it is.
Right.
But the one thing I've noticed, do you know how much these international students have to pay
to be here?
Double.
Yes, triple even.
It's probably triple now, yeah.
But I mean,
with double minimum.
But I mean,
so if your bachelor's like 40,000, they want 80,000.
Yes, but I mean, but 80, that's possibly including your residency too.
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know much about it for the international students.
That's why.
But aren't you gonna just be taken away from the pockets of your, like, you know what I mean? Like, what is your, like, how does it work? I don't really know how it works for the international students. I don't think it's okay to be like, yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't know how that system works.
You come and you learn, and then
it's like, it's hard for me to say, oh, just deport people, because it's like, at the same time, my family came here, you know, with that same opportunity that everybody else is coming in with.
Right.
If it's equal across the board, that, you know, same amount of people that are trying to get in, you know, I guess it'll be detriment. It's a serious thing. I think it's a serious thing all day, because people are actually taking the opportunity to come here.
I mean,
or whatever opportunities, but I don't know. There has to be a reason why, and I don't know why that's a thing now.
I mean, people get deported simply because they're not citizens.
Which is we had one.
That's first and foremost, right?
Like you overstayed your visa. Yeah.
So it's like you came here, you're on a school permit, you're there, you do whatever. Say it takes you another year because you lost track or whatever may happen. Life may have affected you. You apply for an extension. Cool. But then once you're done, that's what it is.
But I think, remember, we just came out from I don't know if it's still considered that we came out from a pandemic. But like, how does that work when it comes to like the international students that have to sit back because of the pandemic? And, like, I don't know how this works. You know,
that's a good question, actually. I don't know.
How are they affected?
But at the same time, it's like, are they gonna tell you? Are they gonna deport you through COVID? Like, I
wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
Yeah, me neither.
No, because I remember that one time. I think one of my friends got stranded in India because
stranded.
They weren't flying anybody back, and this is around the time of the CERB too. Because I remember Trudeau saying, "My fellow Canadians, we will make sure our PDs come back home. My fellow Canadians." But at the end of the day, I don't know. I feel like for that whole situation, I think it's a tough situation, because I don't know the reasoning for why they're deporting people.
Probably because of visa.
Like visa and
like literally deporting could be only for so many reasons. Like you literally are not a citizen. You've extended your stay. You haven't filed for an extension, or there's probably a crime that you've done, and that's part of the other reasons. Like
and fraud.
And fraud. Yeah. You're not actually the person that you say that you are, and you came into the country.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, because it sounds like it's like a big amount of people just getting deported. And I remember it's being a hard thing to get people into Canada.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Is it?
Whatever. Mans are getting mad that dogs are getting citizenships more than people.
You said dogs are getting citizenships more than people?
All the stray dogs that they were sending from Jamaica to Canada for home.
Oh my god.
I've actually never heard of that before.
Me neither.
Well, here's another thing though, which is interesting. I swear, like last month they were saying they have a shortage of people in trades to the point that they're going to be hiring people from international places
Right.
to come to trades. I felt like that was always happening in the first place, to be honest with you. But it's just interesting to hear because I guess all the baby boomers are retiring, right?
A lot of them, yeah. Yeah.
But there's a lot of cranes that are up and they can't be moved because they don't have workers. It's crazy.
Which is why the Eglinton LRT kind of...
I wonder why.
Or Galleria Mall or King and
You know
Dufferin.
what I also believe? I think we're in a world right now that everybody wants to be up, like...
Don't say
I feel
entrepreneur.
like there's a lack of workers because there's a lack of... Everybody wants to be like an owner.
No.
No.
I literally said, don't say it.
You know what I mean? If I'm making any sense, like I feel like you need, just like you need owners, you need workers.
Right.
Nobody wants to be workers.
Nobody wants to be workers.
Everyone wants
like
to be an
there's nothing
entrepreneur.
wrong, because people believe that there's something wrong with being a worker.
Well, I mean, that's the stigma that people have brought on. Plus, and you know what? I would definitely say that is due to the marketing that America has done, bringing the wave of capitalism and being your own boss and managing your own affairs and blah, blah, blah. That wave came to Canada very heavy.
But this is crazy.
Wait.
Bosses aren't looking for workers, though.
Wait. Remember when Dame Dash... Not remember, but like it's still on the Breakfast Club. But when Dame Dash had his interview, that started something. Because he was just like... He's like, yo, you guys are up here in Breakfast Club. You guys have to report to this person. I do my own thing. Da, 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 da. Like I got a son that's in entrepreneurship.
Yep.
They say, yo, I'm a boss. Like I don't do.
Yep.
But from that interview, it seemed to like
Expand. Earn Your Leisure came to Toronto, and that was an uproar.
wait.
All these people, which is fine.
Right.
I get it that you could be your own boss, a realtor, and whatever. But what happens when anybody's a friggin' realtor and nobody knows how to build a house?
And that's what problem became.
This is what Toronto's heading to be.
Yeah.
And
I see all these things like, oh yeah, I know how to dream hard, I know how to think hard. A lot of y'all don't know how to work hard. You have no sweat in your damn eyes.
Not sweat in
You
your eyes.
know, rain, snow, sleet. You don't even know how to frame a wall. You know, and that's fine. That's fine to an extent. But next you know,
There's other factors
what
too.
happens if next you know people are like, man, we need to put a raise on McDonald's because a lot of people don't want to work at McDonald's anymore.
wow.
$30 an hour at McDonald's. Listen to me, I'm doing that part-time. You understand me?
Yo.
But you know what? But that's another part of the reason, right? There's so much precarious work too. There's a reduction in full-time, benefits.
Yo.
What else? Eligibility for insurance coverage.
They're finding a way to be like, no, for your own mental health.
Right? RRSPs that would have been provided and given to you are no longer. They're not even trying to match contributions. So like all these factors that would have made people want to work for somebody else and provide some form of financial security, they're not being offered like they used to be.
Well, maybe it's because of the lack of workers. People don't want to work.
Do they not want to work though?
I don't know.
Or are they not working in the field of passion that they actually want to work in?
That's one.
I don't know.
And really, it really comes down to money. Like, I don't know why I mentioned money. My voice just went off a second. But no, like, I mean, if you expect someone to do something for like, what's the minimum wage right now? 16 something.
Yeah, I think it's like 16.
I mean, listen, you're gonna attract the most dregs of society you can find. Because the smarter people are going to go for like the 19 an hour, 20, 21
and up,
right? But like you're not doing anything with 16. And then depending on the job too, even if like James said, 30 an hour for the McDonald's scenario, right? Some people have such a stigma with McDonald's. They're like, I'm not putting on no Ronald McDonald uniform, smelling like grease, even if it's 30 an hour. Nah, I'm not doing that because of the stigma, right?
You know what's the crazy thing about these type of things? A great leader was once a great servant.
This is true.
And
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I working at a grocery store. I learned so much from a grocery store. It's not even funny.
No, grocery store is one of those jobs everyone should do for a year minimum.
It's not what I wanted to do. It's not where thing. But I can say when I've been there, you learn things.
Right.
You learn how to budget. You understand what it is to hard work. You understand the politics of people sometimes. And that's something, some work ethics you just gotta learn. And, I don't know. A lot of these people don't want to work hard. These people don't want to go through the grit. Some people are being ridiculed for what they want to. And you know what? It's sad. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I feel like.
Wait,
I don't know, man.
Is that why when I walk around and I see construction sites, they're like three people with a hat, just looking, taking a broom, just pushing some rocks, hand on hip, with the wristband. Your hand on the hip with
wristband.
just looking, just looking.
Listen to me. A lot of these people, and that's the thing about trades that made me laugh about certain things. I remember I used to go on the bus, just did a crazy work shift. Or on the blue line, night shift, and I have to find my way back to Brampton, but all the service is down.
Ooh, shit.
So people will look at you, especially when you just started, like entry level, just started. And then they'll look at you and probably be like, oh, this guy's, look at this guy. Bum. Or, you know what I mean? Or these people are not making money. And it's like, joke's on you, buddy. This is not minimum wage.
That's yeah. People don't realize that. No.
People look at certain trades and be like, yo, why are you doing a trade? Yo, you know how much money, like these electricians, these plumbers that turn on a switch, how much you're making.
No, it makes sense. Like, obviously, it does make sense, like, what you're saying. But it's like, it also says there's a certain personality, one, that actually wants to go and be a go-getter and work. Because even then, so you still have to acquire skills in order for you to work. You have to be personable to a certain degree. So people actually got to like you.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to be cooperative with others, which is, again, a skill. So then there are some people who just don't lack, or who lack those two prominent skills for just work alone. And then on top of it, it's like actual like knowledge. Like you are actually seeking that knowledge so you can be employed. You have a passion or something that you actually want to work towards. Right?
Well, I just don't like the scheme that people are putting on people, the pressure of them to be entrepreneurs. Like, maybe that person was just meant to be a worker, and that's okay.
But who knows? Maybe there's a reason why they're pushing the agenda of entrepreneurship so people could actually realize it's harder than it looks. Oh. And that they should go and work.
Oh, wow. Oh, like the
reverse psychology.
On how to be an entrepreneur.
Say again?
Or they want to sell a program on how to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Come to my conference.
Yeah, this is true.
And I'll give you a lot of vague reasons of how to get this done.
How to be it after the 5th video.
James didn't realize he that was a shot sent to a lot of people. Because unfortunately, a lot of people are...
They feel that way, yeah.
Not just that, but like...
I'm not saying, hold on. I'm not saying every company does that.
No, I'm saying...
But that is a business in itself, though.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Tell a friend.
Mm-hmm.
But the key part you mentioned is the vagueness. Because obviously, if someone knows how to make money, they're not going to exactly tell you how to make it.
Yeah, they're not going to tell you how to make money.
I was actually talking about that too.
You think they're going to tell you how to make money?
Right? You, my competitor. Why am I going to tell you the secrets?
That's, yeah, I mean...
What reason I'm telling you is if I get something out of telling you.
After the 5th video.
After the
But it depends. There's some people on the kind of artists that I'm not.
Yeah, some people who care.
Because of the love.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes that can just be a part of the poison.
That is true, because then all that love they give you, now you were set up off of them.
Right, yeah.
So no matter what you do, you are a product of them. Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess we can kind of transition to this just as a part B to this segment.
Battlerap type thing.
Yes. So, me and James had a discussion
Tell me about
this
it.
week where the state of Battlerap, which is like an entertainment.
Yes.
It's going through turmoil in a sense.
Yes.
Ooh, going to turmoil. Wait, going to turmoil in what sense? In the sense of the actual ability, because of the crowd, they're not actually involved as much as they used to be. The culture itself is like diminishing.
Oh no,
like,
Z's
The
no.
funny thing is, as much as I don't know how much you watch Battlerap, but that is you're hitting the nail on top.
No, Z's saying every reason though. That's we were trying to focus on the money aspect, but let's talk about all of it. No, let's talk about all of it.
We can't. No. But let's hold on, because that has to be an episode in itself.
We'll do,
Okay.
For those watching, we'll have a special thing next week about
battle rap.
culture. Yeah, because
Culture of battle rap.
but
Right. I just want to say shout out to all the I'll just say this because shout out to all the battle rappers, shout out to all the leagues, because I've been an avid battle rap fan for a very long time.
right.
Even the reformed ones.
Even the reformed ones. Yeah.
Yes, even from 106 Apart days.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm a battle rap watcher. I like lyrics. I like bars. So shout out to all the battle rap, because battle rap's gone to a place where the battle rap media is making money out of it. It's
Right.
I'm rap, Bouch, Easy Block Captivating, some Gyms, yeah, Hennyman, Black Compass. They're having issues of their own right now.
Right.
Harlem There's a lot of people talking about battle rap and getting their exposure, but it is a business, and things happen. So for example, basically, there's this person named Easy the Block Captain.
Yeah.
I'll say he's one of the top battlers right now from Philly.
Philadelphia. So for Philly.
He was in the battle rap game for a while.
Right.
But he went to jail for a bit, came back, and he's been a problem ever since.
Right. Just to catch up for those, Philly is for short for Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in the States. But go ahead.
Right. Yes. And he showed up, shake the room with the talk is different. The craziest battle I've seen so far with him was him versus Chess. That battle was iconic because you saw the best chess ever.
Right.
And we saw Easy Block go crazy. He battled T-Rex already. Murder Mook ducked him. Battled $3. He's battled iconic people, so like A-Verb. And in order to get there, you have to be good with your bars.
Right.
Right.
Who else you got? Charlie Clips, Hitman Holla.
Right. So keep this in mind. Now, he's good to the point that he was in the Philly Bel Air. He's even an actor in Bel Air. That's how profound and everything going on. So long story, I don't know if I can make it long story short, but basically he signed a contract with this company, biggest company. They're considered the NBA of battle rap, called URL, founded by Smack, Beasley, and whoever.
Which is known as Ultimate Rap League TV.
Gotcha.
Ultimate Rap League. They had always say, follow the imitator, follow the innovators, the imitators, they're very contract ready now, because I remember back in the day it was the streets. We used to do DVDs and raps, be battling and going off, you know what I mean?
Right.
Stuff like that. It's been in the culture of battle rap for the longest time. Battle rap is area underground culture, if you think about it.
Right.
Right.
Like it's gritty, it's the streets. Like even though there's other people that are anomalies, it's been the streets, right? So there's a lot of integrity when it comes to battle rap. So we got someone like Easy Black Captain coming. He has, he's did time in jail. So he was getting somewhere. Went to jail. Came back. Better than ever doing his thing. He was signed to a URL contract. I think it was 5 years or something like that, or whatever. But the URL contract entitles some battles that he's supposed to do. Right? He did his battles. His battles are gone. He did his battle. He doesn't own URL, nothing but the time being on URL to sign for another battle or whatever. Accomplished the contract other than the year.
So,
you know what I mean, that he should be there.
so pause right there. So, let's say the contract was like you signed a contract for 5 years, right?
Right.
And you had this many thresholds. Yeah, battles. Yeah, and there are thresholds. He cleared all of them with 2 years remaining. So, I guess in his mind, he's just like, well, this contract's over. Yeah, like I'm finished. Like,
No, you have to finish for the 5 years.
see,
here's the thing.
okay, yeah.
Now, see, you're getting somewhere. Remy Ma, shout out to Remy Ma, Pat Sullivan, she has a battle league called Chrome 23.
Yeah.
She started her battle with the ladies, and then she put some men in to do the battles and stuff, and Easy was booked to do a battle on Chrome 23.
Right.
But due to the URL's contract, I guess it says that he's not supposed to battle anywhere else.
Right. He had what called a golden handcuff. Like they'll be like, "Yo, you stay here," because it's like if you look at it as a record label, they're like, "Yeah, you stay in this record area here. You can't
really expand. Yeah.
You can't expand. We'll tell you if you can go to this league. Yeah.
Yeah, it's their consent.
Like
to
curfew.
Battle anywhere else. For battle rap.
Like curfew. Yeah.
Which is strange for battle rap.
Right.
Right.
Like it's battle rap, but yet you're locking people down so you can't battle here, you can't battle there. Certain people couldn't battle on King of the Dot, which is Toronto.
That's interesting.
Some people couldn't battle on RBE because just put you as URL guys, you stay this. You know what I mean? Which is, okay.
So those are interesting contracts that you're stating, like just the stipulations and the limitations that people had.
Yeah.
Right. So, but what happened was Chrome 2023 gave Easy an offer that he couldn't refuse. So.
And that's the 5 years.
He still has he still has his 5 years with URL, but he's just like the offer's being made for Chrome 23, the Remy Ma's league. So
I gotta feed my kids.
Yes. Everybody has family to take care of. So,
but does that mean he's gonna get paid out for those 5 years too, even though he completed it in 2?
Basically, off the battle, I think basically off the battle that he was getting from Remy, it was better to jump ship basically, because I think URL sometimes the thing about URL is they'll have you on the contract. But sometimes I don't know how the contract goes. This is all alleged.
Yeah.
I don't want to loss from URL. I don't want to loss from all your batteries. So all alleged. Everything you've said so far about battle rap is alleged because you already served people, and I don't want to be served at a random battle rap event.
Yeah.
Bring him out. Bring him out.
So long story short, he took the battle. Cease and desist. Easy had his lawyers, and he continued the battle. Had the battle with Hitman Holla, like 2 million views. Like it's getting up there. I guess he got the best payout that he could ever get. Now, Easy, basically the worker in a sense, that said, you know what, I'm gonna take this step for my family, for my kids. You know I've been in the bin for a long time, and you're taking money from my kids for you to tell me no, to not take this battle. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he only has time. Like, the only thing you have is time. Time, money you can make back. You can't make back time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I guess they scrapped the 5-year contract, but now it's one of those things that easy is banned from the URL.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like, so the contract ended up being
No, yeah.
null and void. Yeah. But then
But
as
obviously, there's an issue now because
right.
Yeah.
obviously, URL. It's funny because the URL, it seemed like they were cool with Remy Ma, but when this battle happened with a URL person, they're blocking the battle for whatever reason.
Right.
At first, based on the things I've heard, I don't know much about the project, but it's kind of tight. You know what I mean?
Is it because
supporting other people?
Is it because they don't have as much of a fan base as Remy Ma does?
No.
They have a fan base, but I think they kind of showed their teeth in this situation in the sense of, you can come back to the URL. It's nothing if he goes there and makes a money over there battling him at Harlem, but it seems like they probably wanted that battle to happen on the URL.
Right. Yeah. Like we want to.
Oh, they want the spot, the airtime.
And then I think what I was told, what was said was, they were like, okay, you can have the battle because Easy was basically URL on the contract. What you can do is put it on the URL app because the URL has an app.
Yeah.
Which I'll unsubscribe very soon because I don't know what they're doing over there.
That's
but,
wow.
And then put it on. Because a lot of these guys, what they're saying is, yeah, I'm on the URL app, but I want the YouTube drop. I want the YouTube drop because a lot of people are not going to know who I am unless they get the app.
Now pause there. When they did the deal with Caffeine, which is like what do you call it? A subscription service, right?
Like Twitch.
It's like Twitch. So Caffeine is owned by Fox, and obviously a part of Fox is owned by Disney. So, so in a way, Disney has a take in Battlerap. But anyways,
Interesting.
When the Caffeine app was released, everything was exclusive to the app. So you sign in, you pay a subscription, and the battles would stay there. But now, James, as I recall, Caffeine doesn't have a YouTube channel, right?
I don't know if they have a YouTube channel, but the thing about it, those battles will never go on URL.
That's the thing.
Trailers for the battles, but the trailer will always tell you to go to the Caffeine to watch it when it's on live. But I don't think it stays on Caffeine. But if you want to watch the battle, you have to get a URL app.
Right. So the shine got reduced. Because before, a battle will come out, let's say, what was the last like fire battle that like had a lot of views? Let's say Hitman, I'll say one of them. Hitman versus Bill Collector. Now imagine, wait.
All these names though.
Now imagine.
That was not URL. That was on RB.
That was RB. What was the last like top rated URL before Caffeine?
There's a lot of battles that I remember that were like top battles, like Pat Stay, Shotgun Shug.
Yeah. Okay. Good example. So, Pat and Shotgun Shug. That was a battle. Rest in peace to Pat Stay. That ended up being like what? Is that 1.5 million now? Views? So on YouTube, because Google YouTube has such heavy traffic,
Right.
you're always gonna see what Battlerap is about, the organization, who are the battlers, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, the streets have access to it.
Yeah, there's access. But when you lock it, I understand it's business, you want to make money, but when you lock it to exclusivity and it's behind the app, and then in order to access, you gotta have a paywall. And then if someone even dares to re-upload it, it'll get copyright strike. But yet, it depends on how much people subscribe to like Caffeine, right?
So you're not making it accessible for other people.
Yeah, like you're almost shine blocked a little. Because if people don't if people don't rock with the app, then
I wonder if that's because they're still trying to figure it out.
it seems
I think they're trying to. I I think they're just trying to lock in Battlerap as them. Like, you know how the WWE locked in every, like, you know, there's WWE. They get to a point and they start buying out all the other companies.
Oh.
They're pulling a Disney.
You know how you have WWE, then you have WCW, then WWE and all this stuff. URL is basically WWE. And then there's going to be a point where, at one point, before Vince McMahon Sr., he didn't have a problem with all the other leagues. When, allegedly.
Right.
He didn't have a problem with all the other leagues, but when Vince McMahon Sr. passed and Vince McMahon Jr., I don't know.
He'll be Junior. Yeah, he'll be Junior.
Yeah. He showed up. He started to, like, come after everybody.
Right.
Came after ECW, bought them out. You remember the Monday Night Wars, this, that, and the third.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody had the money to do that.
Right.
URL is basically a WWE in a sense that they're like, hey, we don't lock people up. They believe in their contracts and they're trying to lock people up.
Right.
So, as a digress, Easy to Black took the battle. You know, he believes that, you know, people should do the streets and whatever. So now Easy to Black, because he's from Philly, there's not that much events in Philly.
Right.
So, Easy, you would say like the worker, like the same thing that we talked about the worker before the worker becoming the leader or the owner. So Easy started to make an event. He created an event. It's called Trenches. And basically it's a Philly event that he wants to get his Philly people to get notoriety, but he wants to battle URL battle with people that battled on the URL. They weren't under contract with the URL.
Key part. That's the key part. They weren't under contract.
So he announced in the event saying that these guys are going to battle these guys. URLs, Inside Man, whoever it is, it's P, whoever it is, of the person, the talent relations, whoever you call them, allegedly, went to these guys and said, hey, don't go on that card. If you go on that card, that's done. Like, you can't, and basically, because it's business, you can't come over here.
Right.
Even though Euron's making the most, I guess Euron's making the most back, I guess.
Right.
You can't come over here if you battle over there.
People.
It's a war.
So imagine you're.
A lot of these guys bailed out because of it. They're like, oh no, I got to eat now.
Right.
Sure.
So imagine you're for those listening, you're preparing an event and just even under about like 2 days before the event even like airs, you got people calling you last minute going like, yeah, I won't be able to attend because. But wait a minute, I gave you a heads up 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. What do you mean you're coming to me 2 days before the event to tell me that you can't make it? What?
Sorry, I can't, man. They're pulling my arm.
Right.
I know I'm a man of my word, but here's your deposit back.
Like that's
crazy. So they're the only ones who are really facing this issue.
Well, I heard it's faced with other situations.
like you were listing earlier, but
Yeah,
but that's a whole nother episode for another day.
The issue is like people are watching this happen. People are saying, yeah, they're boycotting the URL and they're gonna do this, and people are turning off the app, and you know, RBE, which is a battle rap league as well, that I actually like.
Right.
I like what they're doing. That whole Blue Room thing, I like what they're doing.
Right.
He loves battle rap, but he stopped. Like where it's going, he kind of just said, you know, he's done.
He seems ARP, who's the league owner of it.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, he seems uninspired now because it's like this is overwhelming for me. This is too much. I'm getting hit with this suit. I got issues where people don't show up. I got issues where people underperform. Like it's like, yo,
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
I guess that's what happens when people start expanding, right? Like sometimes the pressures that happen, you don't realize how sometimes people's ego or the volume or like the exposure gets to some people's heads. It messes up the way that you would actually want them authentically.
What it is for me is I'm not a street guy, but I feel feel like when it comes to the streets and when it comes to like Battlerap and when it comes to things, it's such a raw, talented thing where integrity comes to play. You can't be snitching and then talking about the guns you have. You can't be doing this and talking about this, that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And in those things, you got to be a man of your word in certain aspects. I know. Sometimes it's like, yeah, people have to feed their kids. People have to do that. And it's told. I totally get it. But like, it's becoming a thing where it's like, I'm nervous at the route where it's going.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, like.
And that's just from the contracting.
That's just with contracts. That's with like other battles
and
that I want to see happen. Because man, like, I remember like. The days, this is what I remember, when it was Battlerap, like, one battle that I could say I remembered, and I was super excited when it came out, and I think it came out on Christmas, was Hitman Holla versus Arsenal. They had the trailers, they had they had the beef, it was like a legit beef, St. Louis versus New Jersey. I'm not saying like St. Louis didn't have no artists, the man doing the chitty dance and all that. Like they promoted this very well.
Like so like way back, not way.
Yes.
What's kind of way backish, yeah.
K-Shine Sue Surf, that promotion was crazy.
Right.
But like.
But now, like, see, okay, now that you're mentioning that, like, as a product, like you don't really see that anymore, or as well executed as it used to be.
I was about to say something very shady, unfortunately.
But
I was going to say, the artists then read books. Do the artists now read books?
Oh, you're going a different... you're going like
you're going a different route.
To be able to be lyrically raw?
You need to read something to know the bars you're doing.
That's what I mean. You need to at least know how to speak and, like, actually know how to, like, read. Or even if you don't know how to read, you need to know the language.
Right.
For you to spit.
You gotta know how to market yourself and stuff. But what it is for me is just like, I think it's gone to a sense where you're trying to like capitalize or like lock down the streets in a sense.
So gentrify it.
Like, authenticity, like
gentrify. I mean.
So you're trying to gentrify battle rap? Is that what you're saying?
That's
not necessarily, like, it's like...
I mean, if we're trying to put contracts and stuff like that and make it official and commercial...
I guess.
That's gentrification, then.
It's like, you look at a situation like this and the man's like, yo, I'm just trying to feed my family. And then you have issues where a guy's like, yo, I can't do this because I can't feed my family. And it's like, what the hell, man? This is crazy.
So are you saying that they're not paying the rappers? Like, what's happening? What's really happening?
No, because there's an internal beef between two different leagues, I guess. The main league that makes the most money is saying to people that, hey, if you work over there, you can't come back over here. And I don't think that's okay. I don't think personally that's okay.
That's like trading a player for the ball team, though.
That's trading what?
It's like trading a player on a ball team. But instead, they're like, oh, if you accept this contract with that person, you can't come back here and play.
Good thing.
And I've never heard that before either. Like, you can't...
I never heard the NBA say to someone, oh, you're going to go play in Europe? Don't come back over here.
Yeah. You're going to play in...
If they see you playing or a team saying that they see you playing, they'll be like, all right, come make some money over here.
You know what? With these days, not yet. Like, oh, you're going to play in Asia? Nah, you stay over there. We're NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want to play in Europe? Nah, you stay over there. We're NBA. Don't come back.
I think what hurts URL even more is Easy was on a run.
Right.
Like a crazy run.
And now he's back.
And now it's like...
And now he's kind of...
He can battle on King of the Dot. He can battle on this person. You can say that he's undefeated, in a sense. people say he lost a Rex, but I can't say that.
Right.
So it just sounds like they're trying to, from what I understand, because again, I don't know battle rapping, but from what I'm hearing, it just sounds like they are actually looking over through their books. They're trying to be official, finally, and they're trying to have some structure. But in order for you to have structure, you have to make rules. You know, like if you're gonna sign to certain things, you have to comply to those contracts that you signed to.
I get that. But what it is for me is the people that weren't signed to a contract.
That aren't?
And you see them, some guys that, let's say they're free agents. So they can go anywhere they want to go. And they have been battling everywhere they want to go.
Right.
But because you don't like that person and they're that league, you tell them if they battle at that league, you can't come here.
You can't come here.
I don't think that's okay.
So like,
I feel like that kills the effort of Battlerap, because next you know it's that person, because we see this happen. Like a person goes, they battle all over the place, they go over there, and then these guys bring them to the URL.
right.
Well, what happens if it's a standard thing? If you battle over there, you're lowering your standard.
That, you know what? As a double-edged sword, I've seen that happen with particular battle rappers. Like they over.
JC, that happened with JC.
Yes, JC, and I want to say Danny Myers too. They overextend too much, and it lowers
their
value.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, they call them back when they're ready.
That's yeah.
Yeah,
They
but
call them back when they're ready. Like Daylight, they'll call them back when they're ready, and then they put on the show.
This is true. But I mean, even though they call them back, you know, are they... Here's the two factors now that gets hit. They call them back, and it's like, yeah, they're readily the people that you call because they're reliable and they're in your back pocket. But do their value increase because of it now? Do they get better opportunities after it now? Even though after they've extended themselves?
They should be like the way I see it, I think these contracts, sometimes a salary is not as good as an hourly rate. You know?
This is true.
So sometimes I think if these guys got paid per a battle and they're not locked, like if there was no contract and you're just paying for that individual to battle, no 5-year, 6-year deals.
Yeah, that's
paying for that person to battle that night. I don't think it'll be good for them for business actually, because you know, if that guy's on fire and you pay them chump change, you're gonna want to pay them chump change continually, or you bump it up a bit.
right.
That's actually crazy that they were on contract for 5 years. Man, my phone bill isn't even that long. So,
no, but that's how.
And is that coming with endorsements too? Like, that's what I'm saying.
Endorsements.
They're signing some guys on 6-year deals, and nobody wants to watch them battles.
And they almost get shelved.
Yeah.
On a little money.
That's why it's like 5 years. And why weren't there's so many questions that I have. Like, why weren't the battles spread out for those 5 years? Like, why were they done in the 2-year completion? Like, that's
easy.
a problem.
No, because he was on demand.
So he was on demand, but if you guys have, it's like fights, like UFC, you're contracted. Like, yeah, you're an athlete, but you're contracted. Your battles with certain people, regardless of how popular you are, regardless of how the people want it, your fights are still scheduled, regardless. So it's like, why wasn't that something? Like, how come those same battles weren't scheduled? I think that would have probably made more hype than anything, to know that you have to wait a whole year before.
See,
if that person's on fire and everybody wants to see that battler,
it's like a rule break.
they're gonna move things around to get that battler.
That's whack. I'm sorry.
Like, for example, Drake had a card.
Our Drake, yeah.
Part, and he got the top battlers on the card. Were they on the contract? Maybe. Were they under, like, you know what I mean? But the because they have the money and because, like, maybe it's caffeine and whoever wants to see that battle, they pay to want to see this battle and invest into that battle. Whoever contract or not, they want to see that person. They're going to do what they can to make that person be seen. The man has to spend $100, put on the table and say, I want to see Easy Block Captain versus Blocks.
Right.
And someone's funding it. Yeah, like someone's like, I want to see this.
They're going to do it contract or contract not.
I mean, but it's, I feel like, you know what it is for me? And because I also, so I understand what it is to battle, right? Because I compete in dance. So I know, and I completely understand when people put money on the floor or in the pot because they want to see this battle happen. Like, they've been waiting. They've seen it from all the years, like all the times that these people have had their competitions. They have now rivalries on the floor. I totally get it. Sometimes you just let it be, though, because it's like it's not the time. You let people sit there in anticipation. But once you get the battle and it's done, it's not like they're asking for it again, unless it was like super close. So it's like, and then how do you weigh it for that, right?
I don't think it's like that, man. I think it's like boxing back in the day. You might have a 5-year, 5-year contract. You're on demand. This person wants to buy you. That person wants to buy you. That person wants to buy you.
Yeah.
They're gonna pay up. The only people I think that will fight that whole contract thing is the people that are like, hey, yeah, I know you have me on contract, but hey, I don't want to be on a contract anymore. Ooh. Battle. I have the money.
Ooh.
I can sit back. I can wait.
How about this? What if those fights that were pushed or moved faster, they should have got paid for it? Extra.
I mean,
they probably did get paid for it extra, but I don't know how much extra.
But how much? Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if they were scheduled to have that fight 4 years from now, and then all of a sudden it's being done in the year 2, they should get paid.
And they probably did. Because if it's on that much demand, they probably did get paid. I don't know how much. I don't know who would deserve it. But
I mean,
the way I see it, I don't like this whole contract thing with the Battlerap. And stifling people to not battle over here or not battle over there.
But I mean,
like that.
Why sign an exclusive contract though?
That's where we are in 2023 right now.
Because
why would you sign exclusive?
People need money. That's why.
Understood, but then if you want the money and you need the money, then you have to acknowledge the consequences of that exclusivity.
It was like the story we covered with the lady that left Bell. What's her name? Patrice Juggernaut. Yeah.
Oh yes.
And how Bell was trying to like have her exclusively be Bell only, and
she wouldn't work.
And otherwise,
she couldn't work with anyone else.
You can't work with anyone else. You can't pick up. It's like no, like if you're gonna pay someone exclusive,
you should pay them exclusive
times 10. Like so, let's say the contract's like $100,000 for like 4 years. Oh, you want me exclusively here? Nah, pay me $1 million something. If you want me to be, you gotta almost buy me out almost. Not like.
They're probably look at you like, you know I can't do that. You know I can't do that.
Well, they have to make it somehow.
They have to make it work because like
somehow.
Otherwise, you have to move like a mercenary.
Yeah.
You only go.
Yeah. Because like if you know that also says that the person knows that what their worth and value is, because that they're trying to fish for them and like reel them in as their big fish. It's like, well, if I'm your big fish, you got to treat me nicely as your big fish.
Yeah.
You know, because then you're cutting away from me being able to take on other opportunities that could possibly pay better, that could possibly be a better opportunity for exposure, that could actually be something that I could actually test the waters and actually I feel challenged, you know? So it's like, there needs to be something. But if the company itself is just trying to like I said, it just sounds like they're trying to get their foot together. Like, they are trying to get their footing. And all this contract work is like, this is what they need. And maybe they're afraid they're losing out to somebody else.
I mean, that.
I mean, if Remy Ma has something going on, I don't even know who URL is. Sorry, no offense. But I know who Remy Ma is.
Right.
So if Remy Ma is holding a battle rap, I'm going to go to Remy Ma more so than these people that you're listing. Because I know who Remy Ma is, marketing-wise, growing up-wise, actual, like, career. That's the reason. I don't really listen to her music per se, but I know who she is.
Right. Hey, man.
Well,
This is part one, because this...
I wish all parties the best, I would
Right.
say. But they need to figure this out.
Mm.
Because I don't feel like watching battle rap right now.
Well,
You don't feel like watching
I'm
it?
seeing battle rap right now that they're announcing for first round, the one rounders. I'm like, man, I don't get to see all these guys.
Are the people getting older too? That's another question.
Yeah, people are getting older, but some people are still good. Like, the
No,
thing
some
is,
people
they're trying
are
to bring
still
talent in,
good.
but new talent, they all sound.
There's no stars.
There's no stars.
There's no
Oh,
stars.
that sounds like they're not reading.
Not the battle rappers themselves necessarily. It's just like whoever the
What
talent.
they're saying isn't
Yeah.
like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, like you're
It's that, and like the talent agent is not really looking
for talent.
talent. Yes, that's really a big problem right now.
But I mean, rap itself has been watered down over the years, so can I expect the hard hitting, like, you know, like what we may have grown up knowing or listening? Probably not. I
Rap-
mean, like, what's the show that used to air on oh my gosh, and they used to have the artists go into the booth and they would rap and spit a bar.
Or Rap City.
There we go.
Or in the basement with
Yes.
Big Tigger. Yeah.
Yes. Like, that, I don't think that experience could ever be, like, replicated. Because they went hard.
In the booth was fire still.
They went hard.
I keep saying in the booth. It's Big Tigger in the basement.
Yeah.
On BT.
And then the other experience that I don't think anyone else could ever do or replicate is Sway. When Sway has people on the beat and it switches on you.
5 minutes of that.
Yeah. No one could ever. I don't think anyone could ever take that as a host and do it as good as Sway.
He's number one when it comes to that.
Yeah.
He's really the only one that comes. Wow, he's like the only one that comes to that.
That's it. So when I think of rap, I think of that. But it's like, who is actually
Who's the
the
next one?
talent? Yeah, like who's coming up, who's pointing, who's saying, ooh, whoop, 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 this is what the next thing is and who the good ear is for X, Y, and Z.
The last person to me was Pop Smoke, and unfortunately he passed.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
So, right?
I don't know, man. It's gonna be a strange time, and it's not looking the greatest for me, just outside looking in.
Aw,
So
it's okay.
I just, man,
Maybe it needs to go back underground for a little bit and then find its footing again and then come back, resurface, brand new. Sometimes that's needed.
all these guys, please figure it out, please.
Before we get old.
Battle rappers, battle rap leagues, figure this out. This is not the time for you guys to be wired right now.
That's
man.
funny. But I mean, like, battle rappers also aren't having their own profiles. Like, nobody's actually crowning them. Like, and we don't have beefs anymore. That's a part of the culture, too.
Like beefs that don't like end in actual. But
Yeah, like actual verbal
like
sparring
like rivalry.
that was marketed. Like, we don't have that anymore.
They are. Well, sometimes it gets kind of crazy right now. Like, one right now is, in battle rappers, one right now they're saying this guy's been an informant. And I'm like, oh my gosh, when you say someone's an informant in the streets, it's a bad thing.
That's
Yeah, but
Why would you market that? But then now the man's posted the man's mother.
But that's different from what it
yeah.
used to be, where you would hear in like everyday, what is this? Hot topics on anyone's platform, not just like urban ones, and I put quotes around urban, or like hip hop affiliated only. Like, it would have been TMZ
Or you talking about ET Canada?
Yeah, or ET Canada would have also been like,
But
news says that, hot takes on the fact that, who's one? Who always had a beef? 50 Cent and Ja Rule are back at it again on Twitter. Like, they would have been talking about it.
that's gonna they do that, but it's not the same. It's not like there's a lot of URL still has like Battlerap still has a lot to work.
Right.
It still has a lot of work to do. Is like to expect that is kind of tough, but I sure say, but it has a lot of work. It'd be the best battle, I think, when it comes to drugs and stuff like that. Battle Dope Boys. I think I would like to see a block captain versus franchise from Toronto. They both talk about drugs, or they should be a tag team partner. Because I think Easy and franchise, they don't rap the same thing, but wicked. How much coke in the pot can be flipped?
Wow.
Pretty interesting.
Wow.
Wowzers.
And silencers on it, and how much time they did in the pen, and also I think it's pretty cool to see like that type of. I know it's a long shot, but I think it'd be pretty cool to see.
I hear you. You just like living on the wild side of life.
Yeah.
And with that, I want to say thank you guys for listening. Plugs. Jay Hunterville, what you got for us?
You know me, Jay Hunterville on Instagram. This is on Twitch. But the West Coast find out. I haven't been streaming on Twitch because I said to myself I want to get a PS5 because they're slowly obsoleting all the PS4 games. And yeah, but other than that, I'm here. I have to come back to the country again, so that's all.
That's
I'll
all.
be safe. Jesus saves.
You can definitely follow me on my personal Instagram at thenerdzz, TheNerdZZZ, and you can follow my business at zzz.studioto, and that is my photography business. And if you're looking to book, you can definitely book me. I am based in Toronto. I do travel, so yeah, let me know.
You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, at Delnijiro, DELNIJIRO. Yeah. Support. And that's it for now, yeah. And yes, I should get that soundtrack popping.
I'm here for the mix.
I should do that. I've been saying that for years now, but I should really be getting on that. But yes, if you have any questions, concerns, complaints, any issues,
Comments
as well,
compliments
as well, yes, send it at askthevent@gmail.com. That is ASKTHEVENT at gmail.com. We'll get to you as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And this is The Vent. And we're out. Peace.
Wash your hands.